Welcome to Intuos Designs. Here we go again. We're going to do a few things today. Few things that we're going to do today is we're going to engrave another coin. We're going to show you guys how to do a depth map and engrave that, and we're also going to show you how to focus your laser and do some setup and calibration. That shouldn't take too long. It's already been done, but I kind of wanted to go over that with you because new people to laser engraving, they don't really they don't know about all of the tasks that you have to do, and it's quite extensive. But hopefully we can get that all straightened out. Give me a second here and I'll start broadcasting everything and getting everything together. Thank you very much. We're going to be getting into light burn here, and we're going to be showing you guys the easy way to calibrate your fiber cam. Your fiber laser. So we're going to help you, calibrate the fiber laser, and that way you can calibrate your laser and also your red light laser, so forth and so on. So the real easy way to do it is inside of Lightburn, up here after you have your laser all set up and ready to go. I am using a 200mm lens today, so over here that is how you can select your profile. Inside of here you have the, I have a 150mm lens, a 300mm lens, and a 200mm lens. So I'm going to select the 200mm lens and make sure that the enable red light is on. So we can actually look over at the fiber cam, and what we're going to end up doing is we're going to show you that what this particular piece of paper is that it's not really a piece of paper at all. What it is a piece of paper, and then there is black gapping tape. So regular black paper, unless it's actually photosensitive paper, will not do anything for this event. So in order to actually do to get the paper actually correct, I am going to stick a piece board underneath of it so that the paper or gaffing tape coated paper is lined, and that we'll be using this to be able to create. So the very first thing I need to do is pull the lens off of. What is going on with my camera? Right, give me a minute. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna find out what's going on with my camera, and I will be right back with you guys. Mm. Well, it looks like we got it fixed up here. There was a problem with the focus, so hopefully I've got that all straightened out now, and we can get going on this thing. So what we're going to end up doing is in light burn, where we of course we put down that gaffing tape onto the paper, and we have put a board underneath of the paper and the gaffing tape to keep it rigid on all sides, because my workbench table is not a full 300 by 300 millimeters. So even though that we're only doing 200 by 200 millimeters, I create these pieces of test paper at 300 by 300, because I do have a 300 millimeter. So it's just, I'm not going to cut it down. So anyway, we'll go back and, we place this paper here, and we're going to go back over to the light burn. And we're going to show you inside of light burn. It's really simple. What you have to do is you go up here to laser tools up here, and up in the top menu. And then once you go to laser tools, you go down into calibrate galvo lens and select 9-point correction. Easy. So before we do that, we actually have to turn on our fume extractor, which will cause things to get a little bit noisy in here. And we also have to turn on the fiber laser, but we have to take the cap off first, onto the lens. So once we've done that, everything comes to life. Wow, this is not capturing properly. Here we go again. Stand by. We'll be right back. So what we had to do is just capture the screen instead of just capturing the application, so that's okay. Up here, you'll see that in laser tools, you have this calibrate galvo lens 9-point correction, okay? And then it comes up and it's gonna ask you to enter the working area of the lens. So it's whatever size the lens is. This particular lens is a 200 millimeter lens, and you want about 85 to 90% of the working area when you're putting in the size information. So 200 millimeters is the size of the lens, and then you want to mark 180 millimeters with the square. So if we go ahead and we go over to look at what the laser is going to do, we'll go ahead and click next here. And right now it's going to go 300 millimeters a second with a 20% power, frequency of 30, and a Q pulse of 200 nanoseconds. So we'll go ahead and we'll stick the frame in, and then we will look over at the fiber cam, and you can see that the fiber cam now is showing you that it is creating a square, and we're going to have to move things around to get this thing squared up and ready to go. Then we're also going to put some weight so we'll just use some tape. So we'll go ahead and put some tape in the edges around where this is sticking up. That way it's completely flat. We just need it to be flat while it's marking. And we also move fume extractor into a good location so it picks up all the fumes. And then we'll go ahead and we'll hit start. And let's see if it did the marking correct. No, it did not. So what we're gonna have to do is I'm gonna go ahead and move this up to about 1,000 millimeters a second. 1,000 millimeters a second. And then we're going to go ahead with a power of 40 and a frequency of 20. And then we'll go ahead and frame that out and say start to see what happens there. And that one did not mark either. I am not understanding why this is not marking. Let's go up to about 80. Let's see what happens on 80. Well, this one's a bust. Let's see if we can get about 45. We'll do 45. That's a pretty heavy duty. There we go. We had to change the frequency. So now you can see the marked lines barely, but you can. Okay. And what you have to do with that is Once you're finished, you go ahead and you select next. And then on the board, looking at this, you have to see which way that this picture that they drew in there, you have to tell the machine which way it drew that particular logo. Or so this is the way it looks when I'm looking at it. And so we select that one and we select next. So then it starts to tell you to measure all these things out. And you have to have a caliper to measure everything and to make sure that this is all correct. So I'm going to go ahead and measure these out, and I will be right back. Here. So. So one of the issues that I had was because of the gaffing tape not actually working correctly, it was really hard for me to see. So I had to do these measurements over twice. So anyhow, what you end up doing is that you once you actually do all the measurements, you write them down, and then inside of the program here, you will need to place those measurements in. So we're going to go ahead and do that here. The first measurement, 126.75. And it is very, very important that you do the decimals. And 28.71. Then you have 127.3. $125.59. And then 124.27. So the next thing it's going to do is it's going to switch up on you, and you have to measure the other way. So I'm going to go ahead and measure, and I'll be right back. So once again, we have our measurements. We have to put them in. Okay, once you get all of those in, okay, you select next. Okay, so there's a couple of things here. It's recommending, so what this does is it does all the calculations for you, so you don't have to do it in order to adjust the F theta on your lens, because the lens is round and the table is square, and things that are square you have to actually correct for the lens's curve. So all of these end up coming down. So you could do one of two things. You can select it, you can just say done, and it's going to automatically put the values in where they belong. Or you can maximize your work area. So this actually can maximize out to about 278 millimeters on the I believe it's the y-axis. But I just want to go ahead and leave it at the 200 by 200 and select done. And what that does is inside of your actual Galvo laser, this is the button that you hit to get your laser. It puts all of these values in for you. Otherwise, you would have to sit there and do a lot more complex tests and mathematics in order to get all of these functions and to put in the proper information. So now that that's done, we can we're going to test and find out whether or not our scale is correct. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this guy back on the table here. We'll line him back up in center here. Kind of square him out, and we'll get back to that in a second. What we're going to end up doing is we're going to draw a few lines. So we're going to start out by drawing a few squares, and we're going to make these squares 10 by 10. And then we're going to go ahead and select that one and put it to the center of everything. And then we're going to add another one. And we're going to make this one 20 by 20. And then we're going to go ahead and put that one into the center. You can select an object and hit P on your keyboard to center the object into light burner. And then we're going to go ahead and draw another one and make that one 30 by 30. And then we're going to do one more and put it as 40 by 40. Nah, we'll do two more. We'll do 40 by 40. And then we'll add another one, 50 by 50. And then we'll add actually one more and do it 190 by 190. Okay. And we are going to put all of these to the center. And we are going to go over here and we're going to set up everything. Speed 1000, frequency 45. Power 80. And then we're just going to do one pass. And then we're going to frame that out. So here you can see the outside frame is going to be the largest that it's actually going to actually engrave. So we'll go ahead and select start. And we did that quickly. That was pretty fiery. That was pretty cool. So then we're going to go ahead and close this. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to measure each one of these boxes to make sure that the scale is correct. It looks like it's pretty spot on. So if it is not the same scale as what is coming out, then you would have to actually come in here and start messing around with your offset of you know how it's going to cut. So there are three things in here. There is the actual cut laser, there's the red dot laser, and then there's your tuning your there's another place, I'm sorry, not here, but there's another one because my particular fiber laser has an autofocus that you can actually correct for the distance for the focus of the laser. So that's all we have for right now. I'm going to go ahead and sign off of this one and start a new broadcast in about 5 minutes.